Today I have recorded a video in my kitchen attempting to show the preparation for the next 2 weeks. I have recorded mostly on my big camera, but also a little bit on this camera. Unfortunately, the recordings from this camera have failed, but rather than scrap the whole project, I'm going to show you the main footage. It will mean that we're missing some stuff and some things might not make perfect sense, and for which I apologise. Enjoy!
Hello and happy Monday, yes, Monday. Now, this is a bit of a different scenario. I don't actually know if this is going to work, but I'm trying it out. Well, what I'm going to do is going to work, but whether what you see works or not, it's another matter. So, what I'm doing is the food prep I should have done yesterday. It's now 8:20, so I'm ever hopeful that I can get this all done. I reckon 10:30, 11:15ish in the evening I'll finish this. So, with no further ado, let's get this started, shall we? So first things first, we're going to do the jacket potatoes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly go wash these in the sink, and then we're going to prick them with a fork, stick them in the microwave for 8 minutes, oven cook them for an hour with foil and then an hour without foil. That's why I'm saying it's going to take just over 2 hours to do this. So I'll just get on with washing. Okay, so we've got 4 potatoes that are washed. They're not, well, they are perfect. They're as good as you're going to get, basically. The point is you're baking the skin more than anything else. Make sure there's no imperfections on them. So, 1 fork, 4 potatoes. Just going to quickly stab a few just through there. Generally try to get one that's deep, like that. Do the same on each one. Just while I'm doing this, I shall let you know how my day has gone. So, as it stands, breakfast was an omelette and beans. Now, I had 1 omelette left over from the last couple of preparations. It's basically my first prep. Well, the food started on a Wednesday, so that basically meant I was always 1 over, and I'll be 1 over again when I finish today. But that's always a good thing, because if I get a little behind like I have this week, then it's not too bad. So yeah, omelette and beans, chucked it in the microwave, dealt with it that way. Just gonna put these on a plate. And lunch was soup and a bread roll. So one of the bread rolls I got yesterday, I'll just put this down for a sec, I used for today's lunch. What I've done with the other ones, and excuse me 1 minute, they've already gone in the freezer. That's actually now frozen solid. And the soups, I don't know if you can see it if it's in frame, but they're just piled up here because, quite frankly, I've shown you the pantry, it needs sorting. Okay, let's chuck these in the microwave now. This is 8 minutes. And the clock starts at 8:23, so that'll finish just after 8:30. And I'm just going to get this wiped down. I'm also going to use the other side, but didn't want to get the table dirty. Okay, so whilst that's cooking, the other things I've got to sort out is separating the cheese out, and also I've got to make the omelettes. And we'll leave the omelettes till after we get this to the oven stage. So let's start with the cheese. I've not really been given much guidelines on the cheese. Now, the reason you've seen 3, that one has barely any left in it. That's not even close to a portion. So what I'm going to do is just leave that to one side and we'll use that for the omelettes, and we'll use that for the omelettes as well, and that'll obviously end up with some left over. I do have scales, and I do remember one of my friends saying about 30 grams of cheese at a time. This is the Kerry low stuff. So what's there in this? 160 grams in this. So yeah, we can do 30 grams at a time, that's fine. Got these wonderful Tupperware tubs, which I generally use for my jacket potatoes when I go into work. So I'm going to stick one on there ready, and just stick that on. Is it on grams? It is on grams. Wonderful. So I forgot scissors. All very useful. So let's. Oh, it's a tearing open. Let's see if tearing works before we start cutting. Far too easy. Okay, fine. I'm making this far too complicated again. I do that a lot. So, do you know, I'm replanning things as I'm going, so I'm going to use this one for now for the omelettes, and we're going to stick with 30 grams. So there was 10 grams left in that one, and that's bitty cheese now, so that's perfect for an omelette. 33 grams, that's close enough. So I'm just going to seal this for a second. So what I'll do for now is, as soon as I start cooking omelettes, that's my first load of cheese to go in. In fact, I'm going to repeat that process for 3 tubs for now, because I've only got 3 of these tubs apparently. When it comes to making me jacket potato stuff ready, that's my 4th tub. I'm not joking, that is my 4th tub. And also for the butter, we've got some, I can't believe it's so good light, which we'll just put a dollop in there, which is what we normally do. The reason I'm doing this on my own, my sister unfortunately, she normally comes around on every second Sunday to do this. She was unfortunately ill, so, and because I was waiting for her, I never got round to it. Which means it's now down to me to do on my own, which realistically it's for me, so that's exactly how it should be. Okay, so we've got another couple of minutes before that's due, so we'll stop there. Just quickly, my tea was a ready meal. Still got the packet. Chicken and bacon pasta bake. And my snack for the evening, not yet eaten, it is a Freddo. Low-fat chocolate bar it's called on the diet. The reason I'm looking over there, the diet is pinned up on my fridge, so it's easy for me to go have a quick look there. Okay, so I'll be back with you when I've got that in the oven, zit. Okay, so I'm now preheating the, it's turned into an oven now, the microwave, up to 200 degrees Celsius. Don't ask me what that is in Fahrenheit. If you're lucky, I'll flash it up on screen now. Yeah, probably not. Okay, so the reason I've got a knife out, I'm going to cut a little cross fairly deep into the jacket potatoes now. That's actually fairly hot on my hands, which is why I'm being a little careful here. There we go. Yeah, it's fairly hot throughout. And then, foil. I've got some Baco foil sheets. I don't know how many are left in here actually, but I think I've got enough to cover for today. If not, I've got some normal foil in there. So I'm just going to push everything back so that I can wrap these up. You know what? I never know which side is supposed to be inside. I don't think it matters too much. Does it actually say? No, it doesn't say. Okay. Comment if you want to tell me which one it is. Now, conveniently, these are actually folded in 3. So, I can just fold them back out over how they were. And there we are. 1. 2. I'm actually wrapping these like I used to wrap burgers when I worked for Burger King. That's part of the reason why I'm fat, by the way. I worked for Burger King for a little while. That's going back a long time, though. I left there when I was 18. I'm now 33, so that's only the start. The rest of it is all me going to takeaways and rubbish like that and not exercising enough. Speaking of exercise... Shut up, you. Speaking of exercise... Oh, perfect. That was the last one. Speaking of exercise... steps so far today is just under 5,000, so pottering around the house will push me over. Obviously it's the first day of the week, so there's a lot more for me to do there. So this, I don't know where frame ends. This has hit 200 degrees now. Something rattled then, I didn't like that, but never mind. So now we have 4 jacket potatoes wrapped in foil to go in here now. And voila. Okay, so that can, well, we'll reuse that. I'll just wipe it down now. Can I find? There. Okay, and the reason for wiping that down now is just basically I'm going to put the omelettes on there after I've cooked them. Hopefully I'll get you a closer view, but I haven't quite sussed out how I'm going to do that yet, but we'll get to it. So this is the other thing I'm getting out of the fridge, which are basically ham slices. These are also going in the omelette. If you haven't seen already, I have prepared all the cheese things. I've used one of these as the last portion. They're all around 30 grams, give or take a gram or 2. So, I suspect this is going to be a cut open job. Yep, I love that. Look how much that's ripped there. Just useless. That's where you get the knife. Proof that my microwave plate needs cleaning. Left a nice little ring there. Not what I was hoping for. So what I'm going to do, how many grams have we got in this? I need to split this evenly 4 ways. It's a 200 gram pack, so that's 25 grams each. So actually I'm going to get a bowl. One bowl will be enough. So again, we're back on the scales. So I'm just going to hopefully make 25 grams out of this. Are you kidding me? Why am I saying 25 grams? It's 200 grams, so it's 50 grams each. Okay. Cut that one a bit. We'll cut that in half for now. 49 grams, close enough. So, that there is one portion. That's not going to go far, so we'll cut it into smaller pieces.
So I'm just interrupting while I'm editing this together. You may have realised my error here. I thought the camera was tilted closer to the table and I thought you could see what was going on. And quite clearly you couldn't. So, sorry about that. But basically, what I was doing, the hand pieces, they were far too big, so I cut them into quarters. I hope that explains it. If I ever do this video again, which I might do, you never know, I'll try and get some better footage for you, and I'll do some tests with this thing to make sure it works next time.
So, that's the ham bits I've got for my first omelette. Going to put that in a bowl, set up my next ones. I actually have 3 of these bowls. I should have 4, I have no idea what happened to the 4th. So, what I'm going to do, going to repeat that 2 more times, and hopefully we will have 4 even splits. So, that's all the omelette prep done. Well, sorry, the omelette filling prep done. So we're going to move on now to the actual omelettes themselves. Now, before I get into this, I have previously mentioned that I do have a mild allergy to eggs. The allergy is touching them, so this is not a fun part for me. Basically what I need to do is the second I touch any raw eggs, I'll be there washing my hands, because I will come up in blotches. Once they're cooked, I'm fine to eat them. It's a weird one. I don't argue with it, I just get on with it basically. It's the best way. You can't argue with allergies anyway. But before I get onto that, I'm just going to quickly mention that the only other thing I need to prep at this time is the filling for the jacket potatoes, which is pretty much going to be the same in terms of the cheese. The other filling just comes straight out of a tin. And what I normally do with that is pour it in there, which already looks pretty naff, but that's the way it is. That goes to work with me. I generally do this bit at work, actually pour it in there. Microwave both this and the jacket potato for about 3 to 4 minutes, which normally gets both up to temperature. Give this a stir, put the cheese on the jacket along with the butter. So that's the only other thing I've not shown you, which is the butter, which I moved over there out of the way. What I'll basically do with that, dollop in there, stick it in with these tubs here. And that's normally enough. So, let's move on to the omelettes. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Still not had the thread over, still waiting for me. So let's move on to the omelettes, and for that, we're going to move... No, I'm going to get an extension lead. I was going to move over there, but I think I've got more space here to show you stuff. Okay, so still remaining, we've got 41.54 on these wonderful jacket potatoes. Proof that it is an oven, not a microwave at the minute, because that's foil in there on a metal tray. But anyway, I've set up my prep here, and do you know what? I'm going to have my chopping board just in case of spillages. It'll be a little easier to clean up. So you can see I've got eggs. So it says 12 in there. That's actually my last packet, which... What's the date today? It's the 12th. Wow. Goes out of date tomorrow. But to be honest, it'll probably be fine anyway. So there's 3 eggs left in that. And there's 6 full eggs in this packet as well. The reason for the milk, by the way, I only learnt this recently, so if I'm wrong, never a good thing. If I'm wrong, sorry, but if I should have known this earlier, don't shout at me. Just basically a tablespoon of milk going in is a good thing apparently. Who knew? I used to just do it raw eggs only. So, there we go. Now, most people tap on the side like that. To break the shell. I'm a bit more violent. I use a knife. There we go. Okay. 2 eggs, so 1 in already. And there's 2. As I say, hands to wash. So you can see 1 egg went a little bit wrong, but it doesn't matter because we're about to whisk this up. Let's add a dash of milk though. So when I was doing this last time I was being very precise about it. I don't think it matters that much, to be perfectly honest with you. So it's about a tablespoon worth, let's say it's about that much. That's potentially a little bit too much. It's fine. I didn't used to put any in at all before, so bonus. This is why I'm using this. So this is a nice little blender. It's got 2 speeds, fast and holy. And all I literally do, stick it straight in. And just whisk it up like that. So, just rattling it off. And I'm going to use the egg tray to rest that for now. Now it's time to move over here. So I'm going to hazard a guess whilst this is pointing at the pan. I'm not going to be able to get myself in shot, so apologies. But because I have a microphone today, you should hear me quite clearly anyway. So what I'm doing here, I'm just heating up my pan. I have some fry light, which I'm going to spray into there in a second. Once I've sprayed that in, I'll add the first lot of ham, and then we'll put the whisked up egg in straight after that. I'll probably give it a quick zap before I chuck that in, so the ham will get a little bit of time to cook. It's not really critical. So ham's there and cheese is there ready. In fact, I'll move that further away. So let's spray this. And chuck the ham in. So that started sizzling right away. So I'm just going to quickly zap the mixture again. Okay, and with that zapped one more time, I'm just going to pour this straight in. And that means the ham bits will be nicely embedded, I'm just going to move you closer, into the omelette itself. So what I'll do, I'm going to turn the heat down a bit, because it's now cooking. And let's get the handle over where I can reach it. Just quickly push this down. So the reason I'm turning the heat down really is just so I don't burn the omelette. We want to cook it, not burn it. And this one might actually be headed for the burnt tray, but that's fine. Even a burnt omelette's still edible. Not perfect, but edible. And this is just make sure I can lift it basically when it comes to that. Okay, and while that's cooking, so we'll just lower that heat right down. It makes a horrible squealing noise when I do that, but that's the way it goes. I'm going to set up the next mixture. So this is actually looking quite nice now. Really hasn't taken long. See underneath, it's actually quite brown already actually, so that's probably ready. Now, oh, that's broken. That's not good. Never mind. That happens sometimes. That's why I generally try and do one at a time, but I'm normally only cooking for me on one day. Today I'm cooking just for me, but for 4 days worth. Okay, so there are 2 ways to do this. Either you can flip it over and cook the other side, which isn't necessary, Or just add the cheese down. We'll just spread that out a little bit. And then we're going to fold it in half, and I have to put the GoPro down for this. So hopefully that'll catch what I'm doing here nicely. Oh wow, yeah, I think I had that pan a little bit too hot when I started this. Never mind. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to record any of the others being made. I'm going to make the remaining 3 omelettes. Just quickly move you out of the way. By the way, this is that's my resting plate. So as soon as we're happy with that, just straight onto there like that. Let it cool, because what we'll do after that, it'll probably end up being folded in half and put in a Tupperware tub to be put in the freezer. Okay. So I've just made quite possibly the worst omelette I've ever made in my life. It's the top one here, and I'll put a picture on screen. I'm not reopening that for now. Fortunately, I followed it by quite possibly the best omelette I've ever made. It's perfectly in half, possibly very slightly burnt, but I think that's okay personally. I also realised that I forgot to put sauce in the first 2, so they're sauceless, while the second 2 are, well, with sauce. So, I've not put these back. So, whilst they're with sauce and without sauce, to be honest, it doesn't make too much difference. It's a bit of flavour that helps things along. You may notice though the microwave stopped making a noise because it has just beeped to say the jacket potatoes have finished their first half. So, voila, they are effectively cooked. Now to brown them basically. Sorry, I'm just trying to get them on. It's fine, this table's old. In fact, yeah, we will leave them out there. So, to brown them, it's going to be a case of, and I'm going to need to use something cleaner than my oven gloves. Tell you what, kitchen roll to the rescue, which is slightly damp, which means it's wet over there. Wonderful. We'll stick you here for now. So, I'm just going to put a couple on here for now. I'm just going to set this back up so that it's preheated once again to 200, which won't take it long. Now this is a case of, if you're quick, you can get it out in time. I'm then just going to use this to bring it back up. Because strangely, the foil itself, whilst is hot, doesn't burn as much as the potatoes, I've discovered. So it's much better to do that. And these have cooled already now, the foils. The potatoes have not. So that's good. Right, 2 more. Ow! Touched my thumb a little bit on that, but never mind. Right, let's go for it. Obviously take whatever precautions you feel necessary to make sure you don't burn yourself. I'm an idiot. I would say I'm a professional, but I'm an idiot. But again, the foil has already cooled quite quickly. So I'm actually going to keep those, because I'm going to use them to wrap the potatoes up once I've finished. All 4 omelettes have been made now. I'm just letting that one cool off a little bit before putting it in the Tupperware, and then it'll join this lot, which they'll be going in the freezer as soon as they've cooled off enough, along with the jackets as soon as they've cooled off enough as well. So that's the majority of my prep sorted. I'm going to go back and do all my cheese for my jacket potatoes along with the butters. This is part of my clean as you go philosophy. And that's part of time to put the potatoes back in. So what's actually shaking, I believe, is the glass table at the bottom. Anyway, that's not important right now. It's still doing okay. So that's got another 60 minutes and it's now 10:15. Wow, I'm actually bang on for finishing at 11:15, as I said before. So, for the cheese and the butter for the jackets, I've already said what I'm going to do. I'm not going to show it on camera because basically it's getting a bit tedious, that, to be honest with you. But we're going to get that moving now. And yeah, I think that'll be all the prep done. So hopefully that's given you a reasonable insight as to how I get, or how me and my sister prepared me for the 2 weeks ahead. Because this is 2 weeks worth that I've just prepped, by the way. The other things I've done, and is get a few different styles of ready meals. So you've got a, wow, it's better. You've got a chicken and bacon panette bake, chicken and bacon pasta bake, spaghetti carbonara, and I'll take you to the freezer itself. I'll put the light back on for this. So there's another spaghetti carbonara in there, along with some Hunter's Tex-Mex, classic collie cheese, bangers and mash. I'm still to try that chicken chorizo. That's from last time, I believe, and some other stuff like that. Got some potato waffles. I've already shown you the pancakes and the like. All my bread, by the way, I've split into 2 and frozen. So when I'm doing my beans on toast on Wednesday, I've got to remember I've done that. And that leaves in here the rest of the Freddos, the beer that I've not touched, well, cider that I've touched since Christmas. The protein shakes are up there. And that's what's ready for tomorrow. Oops, sorry. That's what I've got ready for tomorrow. And whilst there's a lot of Coke Zero here, I'm only having a glass a day. I'm still finished the glass from last time. And there's some syrup for the pancakes and the milk. To be honest, there's probably not much use for the milk left, but we'll keep it there anyway. Yeah. So that's basically it for prep now. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'm going to finish off my potatoes. While that's finishing off, I'm going to go edit this all together, so hopefully I can get it up tonight, if not tomorrow. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching today, guys. Hope you have a lovely day tomorrow, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.